Big Elvis the Chef. We are here again, and we're bringing you Premium Black News. I mean, this story is all over the YouTube streets, heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy. I mean, it's really interesting to see, because at first I was thinking this could be some sort of algorithm story, and maybe it's just one of those things, just another algorithm distraction. You know, like anything could be an algorithm distraction. There could be a baby in a well. Remember those? Babies in wells? Distractions, possibly. And if they're not a distraction, they shouldn't be news. The baby in the well shouldn't have the world stopping, waiting for something to find out what's happening next, because what's happening is, like, you know, Congress is making things move around while you're worrying about the baby in the well. So now we have a new baby in the well. And this new baby in the well, actually, like, I'm a little proud of myself with this reference I'm throwing out here. And it only took a Snickers bar for that to happen. I got my energy back. Anyway, I kid. I didn't have a Snickers bar. I had 4 Snickers bars. They were the little tiny ones.
I was snacking like crazy.
Wow, I was boom, 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 boom. Because I was feeling my day. I was feeling my week. And I am now excited to talk about Shanquella. Shanquella is a young lady. Let me just give you the backstory. We're going to let Lovely T talk about it. Let's just see what I got from the last few days of being involved in this Shanquella fiasco, so to speak, or this quagmire. It's a quagmire. It's a quagmire. They are even coining this situation as the Cabo 6. So hashtag Cabo 6, because there are 6 people that they're looking for, the officials. Because we have a young lady who went on a trip with her friends and never made it back. She's from one of the Carolinas, and she's supposedly an up-and-coming entrepreneur. I don't know if that's OnlyFans. I don't know what she does, but one of her supposed best friends refers to her as boss lady, put me on the payroll. So I don't think it's OnlyFans if your male friends, I think, and I also think he's gay too. I think he's a gay guy.
Wait, who?
Her, what's her name?
Shanquella Robinson.
Robinson's friend, the person of interest, is I believe he's a homosexual male.
Okay, so Shanquella Robinson is missing after a trip, and her...
No. She just never made it home. Supposedly there was a call made to the mom, and by this guy. He was like, hey, you know, Shanquella might not, you know, be doing well. She's kind of sick, and I think we need to find a hospital for her. Drop me $5,000 so I can pay the hospital bills, because it looks like she has alcohol poisoning. So the mother's like, she got insurance. What's going on? Let me talk to the doctors. Let's figure this out. So next thing we know is that they all come back without her. And the parents find out that Shanquella was dead, and not like sick or not hurt or whatever. She's like gone. She's dead. So somehow there was like an autopsy report came out. Doc, I would like you to come in on this part, because I don't know what the timeline. I know in America the timeline is really, really long for an autopsy. And they were able to get an autopsy. The autopsy says that the young lady suffered from a brain injury and a spinal injury, and that was the cause of her death. So now, supposedly, the FBI has gotten involved and things like that. So let's just hear what Lovely T has to say. This is just what I know. I'm bringing you up to speed on what I know. Let's hear what Lovely T has to say, because I have to tell you, Lovely T is one of the top-notch journalists on YouTube. Real journalism going on here.
I think I should go with this. Making friends is an essential part of growing up. When you're younger, you often choose friends for crazy reasons. Children may befriend other children due to something as simple as you guys sharing a favorite color. Like you guys love the color pink or red or blue. And then you start becoming a teenager, and as teenagers, sometimes you simply become friends with somebody based on the music that you like. Maybe you guys are Rihanna Navy, you guys stan Rihanna. Maybe you guys love Beyonce, so you're part of the Beehive. Or maybe you're even a Barb or a part of Barty Gang. But a lot of teenagers tend to pick friends solely based on their favorite musical artist. But one thing that I realize is as you get older, you tend to pick out friends based on more important things, based on traits, based on personality. And you also realize as you get older that not all friends are equal. This is not something that you're born knowing, and this is why we often get our feelings hurt throughout our lifetime when friends don't live up to our expectations. One of the most deadliest friends/friend groups you can have is the fake friend, and you will run into a fake friend at one point in your life. These are the type of people that your parents have warned you about, and the type of people that your parents often have bad feelings about. Welcome to Lovely TTV. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. If you haven't yet, please
No,
hit that
she's a
subscribe
total
button down below, and don't forget
pop
to like
culture
the
channel.
video.
Black pop
So
culture.
today's story, we're talking about a
YouTube,
young
but
woman. Her name is
qualified
Shanquella Robinson,
journalist.
and she's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And this whole situation with Shanquella has not been sitting well with me. A lot of people have been requesting that I talk about this. So what's going on is that Shanquella and a few of her friends decided to go down to Cabo, Mexico for one of their friends' birthday parties. Shanquella wasn't in Mexico for 24 hours before her parents were notified of her death. So this situation is just really heartbreaking. And when they went to investigate, they're being told by the Mexican authorities that she died from alcohol poisoning, but her autopsy report says otherwise. I want you guys to go ahead and check out this news clip.
Happened about 2 weeks ago. Shanquella Robinson went to Mexico with her friends. She arrived early on Friday the 28th, and her family says the next morning she was dead. It was supposed to be a fun, long weekend for 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson and her group of friends who went to Cabo to celebrate one of their birthdays.
She told me they had a chef they was getting ready to eat. They was eating tacos, something, salad or something they was eating. And I said, well, okay, I love you, have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I never talked to my child again, and she never made it back home.
Robinson's mom, Salamandra, says within 24 hours of her daughter's arrival, she was dead. Figuring out how or why has only added to the family's nightmare. It started with a frantic call from Robinson's friends.
They said she wasn't feeling well. She had alcohol poison. They couldn't get a pulse. Each one of the people that was there with her was telling different stories.
It's when the family made calls to the FBI and Mexican authorities that they learned of another potential cause of death.
And the autopsy came back. They said it didn't have anything to do with alcohol. Said that she had been, she had a broken neck, and her spine in the back was cracked. She had been beaten.
Salamandra says the entire group came back from Mexico, leaving her daughter's body there. Nearly 2 weeks and $6,000 later, her body is back home. But answers have been hard to come by.
You know, I know that's not going to bring my child back, but I want something done about it.
Queen City News has spoken with officials at the U.S. State Department in Mexico who refute the claim that Robinson was murdered, saying the police's initial indication is that there was no clear evidence of foul play. Here in Charlotte, her family refuses to believe their daughter's death was an accident, and they vow to find the truth of what happened that night in Cabo.
She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody, and pretty much everybody loved her.
All right, so you guys just saw that news clip. Now, what's even more disturbing is that earlier today, a video appeared online, and I don't know who posted the video or who leaked it, but it's a video of Shanquella
Allegedly.
and her so-called friend. Her friend's name is Dejanay Jackson. Dejanay Jackson is in pajamas. Shanquella, and it took me a while to realize this because when I first watched the video, I was so disgusted, I kind of just turned it off. And then I went back to watch, and I'm looking at Shanquella. Shanquella is naked. She has on no clothing. This woman is trying to defend herself. She's not hitting back on the girl. The friends, the so-called other friends, and I'm going to read all these people's names who were there on this trip. Khalil Cook, Mikhail Dreyer, Winter Donovan, Alyssa Hart, and Nazir Wiggins. They were all there along with Dejanay Jackson and Shanquella. You can hear a man in the background recording and saying, Quella, fight back. And she's saying she doesn't want to. And Dejanay is still beating her mercilessly. There's another person recording because you can see there's another cell phone camera that comes into the frame. There's another man that comes into the frame with a beard. So all of these are her so-called friends watching her get beat naked. None of them are trying to stop it. None of them are doing anything to come to her aid. So this entire situation is just extremely disturbing. I'm not going to post the fight video. You guys can go look for it on Instagram. I'm not going to post it in this video. But there's a lot to be said about this situation.
I saw it.
I've covered cases like this before. And like I always tell people, everyone isn't your friend. All I see when I saw that fight video that came out today is a bunch of jealous people clicking up for superficial reasons under the guise of friendship. No friends would allow their friends to fight in that manner and be okay recording it. In my personal opinion, I believe that all of these people planned that attack on that girl. They didn't like her. They probably wanted her to come just because that's somebody to help cover the room. Again, you know, everybody doing stuff for social media and the gram, but you know, we got to go deep so that we can afford this entire villa. So they probably wanted her for just monetary reasons, but they probably really didn't like her. She was a popular braider, beautiful girl. It looks like she was always taking trips and doing her. And this girl who's beating on her definitely feels away because you even hear in the video saying, I'm tired of her shit. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're tired of somebody's shit, why did y'all invite her to the party? Why did y'all invite her to come to Cabo? So it seems like there were already tensions brewing. Now, the autopsy report says that this girl was found unresponsive and that she had a broken neck and a broken spine, and there was no alcohol in her system. I believe that broken neck and spine came from this fucking wildebeest, okay, beating on her. And I call her a wildebeest because even though Shanquella was not fighting her back, Shanquella was barely even trying to defend herself, and this wildebeest kept hitting on her, kept fighting her. She was getting the best of her, and she was getting gassed up because she knew Shanquella was not a fighter and that she didn't want to fight her. So she was trying to prove a point to the rest of the people that she's the top dog, that she's the queen bee, that she's the alpha female in that clique. And these morons sat by there recording this and cheering this on. This is sickening. With friends like this, who needs enemies? And that's why I say you have to be very, very careful who you call a friend, especially in this day and age. You got people clicking up, claiming to be friends based on things like followers, based on things like, you know, people's looks, people's bodies, but they're not getting to know people's characters. They're clicking up and calling themselves friends based on superficial nonsense. And when you click up with friends based on those type of situations, you get situations like what befell Shanquella. This entire situation is really disturbing, but what's even more disturbing is that one of her so-called friends, one of the gentlemen who was there, he claims he came the following day, but he's speaking out about this situation, and I want y'all to watch his video. His energy is totally off to me. He's definitely not giving me friend energy.
It was around 3:26. Instantly, as soon as I go in there, I go to Quella didn't leave my sight, my side, none of that, till the nurse came. But I got too far ahead. So Quella was laying on the couch in the game room. The fucking villa was like a big ass mansion, no upstairs, all tile on the wall, tile on the floor, straight tile, nothing else. So it just a big ass villa. I don't know if y'all can view it on the website. Go to Cabo Villas and look at how big this shit is and what it look like. Well, you gonna see. So when I got there, she was in the game room. They told me she was not feeling good, so I instantly go to her. put on her side, get a bag, and all that. So I'm sitting right next to her the whole time. I was crossing my heart. I hope that I was there the whole time in the game.
Crying my eyes out.
Wait, he just came and he had to take care of her?
Made it to the living room.
That's what's
I
up.
put on some
Yeah,
soft
that
music,
was
sitting with her, rubbing her head, just chilling, waiting until the nurse came. Because that's what I was informed that was happening. At first, I was told that it was a male coming and then a female showed up. So, by that time, I skipped another thing. Quella wasn't found dead. She wasn't found dead. The maids found her slumped over the toilet in her room. That's what they did find her, slumped over her toilet in her room. That's what I was told. Quella was not dead when I got there.
Jesus.
Yeah, boom. So it's like, okay, so when I get in there, I go in, I see Quella, I see she chilling, I put her on her side, I go out and make that video where I'm talking about I'm here, and I Quella get up. So I'm thinking like, damn, we got stuff to do, ATVs, a boat, dinner. I missed the chefs, I missed everything. Anyways, fuck that. So I'm like, damn, I'm thinking, Quella, let's get up. I say that in the video, everybody can hear it, everybody know. Everybody that know me heard me say the shit. That was my first video when I got there, or second, because I made a video of me pulling up to the villa. But he was cutting up the guy. I tried to get the timestamp for y'all, but that's not going to work. So I guess the real FBI or whatever had to put those right timelines together. But I'm going to start with the NCP. That faggot is so stupid and got y'all believing everything. Everything that's wrong. I was not there till the next day. I didn't see a fight. I didn't know it was a fight. I didn't know it was a video. I didn't know they did any harm, anything. I went in there and told her it was alcohol poisoning, so that's what I helped her as. That's what I helped her as. I didn't leave her side. I put on soft music. Summer Walker rubbing her head till the nurse came in. Nobody even talked about the nurse. Nobody even said a nurse came. None of this stuff. So I'm really not understanding where this story is coming from and why it's out there like this, because it's wrong. It's wrong. And for y'all to be attacking me, an innocent soul, like, I'm really innocent as fuck. I went there to enjoy my birthday. Like, to enjoy my birthday and to really just goddamn
So he's the birthday person.
And take one shot and smoke one.
That's what you kind of say. He said he enjoyed his birthday, so is he the birthday guy?
She was not found
The birthday
dead. She was
friend?
found unresponsive. Yes, unresponsive. She was unresponsive.
But is that the reason they all went? So they all went out for him? I don't believe that.
There was none of that going on.
He's gonna come.
Yeah, but other than that, I did. Oh yeah, I know y'all probably asking that. When I walked in there, I didn't really notice the knot on her head until the nurse pointed it out. I did see the bump on her lip. She did have a bug vessel bust in her eye, and that's
I thought you didn't know she was I thought you didn't know she was beat up.
Beat her ass.
Who the fuck is truly
Like,
stupid?
they know, man, and nobody even told me about nothing. I was blind to
If this
everything.
motherfucker was,
I was literally
if he is
giving her
guilty, this
my
motherfucker
home,
is
like,
putting
come on,
himself
girl,
into a
2,000
corner
miles away from home.
with his story.
2,000
He's
miles
such a
away from home. Nobody
dumbass.
deserves
It's
this. Don't
shocking. He's doing this shit to clear his name. He's gonna corner himself into a timeline in his story.
Bro, why is y'all talking about the blood of y'all kill y'all friend? I wasn't there. I don't.
Who you fighting with?
From Friday to 3 o'clock when I got to Capital. I just don't have them answers.
Or maybe he's talking about the chat or something.
Yeah, come to the
When
chat.
I got there, I can't make that up. I can't. I really don't know what else to do but show y'all
He looks
fucking the real tickets if I can even find them when I landed and didn't land. But I could post the video, I could show the video, it's gonna show the timestamps because it's in my archive. I got there at 3-something p.m. I made my first video at 4:26. That's me outside by the pool. Da saying, Quella, get up, let's go, we got stuff to do. Let's go have fun. There was no fun in that. There was no fun in that. There was nothing good coming from that, man. I went in there with my bag, put it down, went to the game room, went to the living room, stayed there. The worst time of my life. And now y'all on here trying to say I killed her. Me, the nigga that got there a day late. A day late. The nigga y'all didn't see in the video. I have 1,030,000 tattoos. Do I sound like I was in that video? Go listen to it again. Do you hear my voice in that video? Like, come on, bro. Y'all niggas is really stupid. The bitches is stupid. The old ladies, all of y'all are stupid. I don't care who's after me because I have all my timestamps. I've been real close and cordial with everybody who really means something. So everybody else, this was just to give y'all some comfort. Cause I'm not doing it no more. I'm not responding to nothing else. And all the death threats, I can go with y'all and move. Everybody, I turn me to a pack. All that shit y'all talking, y'all just talking out your ass out of hurt because y'all listening to social media. Social media. Of course, my story is going to be different because I got there a day late. I can only tell you what I know from 3:30 to Sunday when I left. That's
So it
all
wouldn't
I'm
be
doing.
different if you're
I really
doing
can't
it.
get nobody no other answer from Friday because they didn't tell me I didn't go in there, sit down and make no alibi with nobody. I didn't know nothing. They didn't tell me nothing.
The more you,
about
yo,
it.
all right, can you pause this shit? Oh, please
I
stop.
don't know nothing. I didn't sit and make no alibi. I didn't even have time. I got there an hour later. The nurse came in the door.
Yeah, when he first came and started talking, I had no opinion on him. I had no idea of anything. Every minute he's been talking, I think this motherfucker had something to do with it. He in the very least, by his talking, he knows something. He knows he was there when it went down, and he knows that it went down. That's the least. To me, that's the least of his culpability. I think he, in the very least, if he didn't put hands on her, or if he wasn't okay with anything happening, I think he, in the very least, witnessed kind of stuff go down.
Well, he's trying to say, Doc, what do you think about a person who's gotten beaten up and somebody?
Try to put some salines in.
I don't. As far as the story he's saying, if he is involved, it'd be association where she has a stronger link to him, and she would go down there because of him, and he decided to come later, because that's all that stuff is verifiable. So if he got there a day late, he could prove that very easily, and he'd have to prove it very easily, or it'll call completely crazy. So I don't think he was really there. So, but that doesn't mean she's not that there because of him, and he knows that this might have was going to happen, and
He probably knows exactly what happened.
right.
So we have a
Or-
timeline of when she was attacked. We know for a fact she was attacked the day before he came.
Well, we just know that he came a day late, so we don't know. Maybe it happened that day. I'm not sure. But
Yeah, it's like there's a guy on TikTok, A-Rel. He goes, somebody got some explaining to do.
I didn't. I didn't
this
see the
is-
fight, but you're talking about broken neck and broken spine. That's a lot of force from a female fighting. So I don't know. It's something else.
Interesting that you say that. Do you
So-
know there's a whole group of people that are now saying that it was a trans woman that was beating her? And the trans community on the YouTube streets are so upset that they're like, no, that's not true. This is not a trans woman. And then I was listening to Star yesterday, and Star said something pretty interesting. He says, the reason why women are blaming a trans woman is because they see themselves in this. They're looking right at themselves, and they're the ones that tell their daughters, hit her harder. Go on, girl. We don't give a F. We don't give a F. We don't give a F, whatever. We running up on chicks and all that. So this is a representation of seeing yourself. So now they're trying to make this person out that did the violent act to be some sort of trans man, trans woman. So, like you said, like I was telling LJ, I was like, it's very difficult to break somebody's spine and head and neck.
Yeah.
You know, like we're talking about you. If you fall off a balcony, yes.
Right.
Now you can fall kind of on ice like wrestlers. They used to have in the wrestlers a lot because the mat kind of had a lot of give. It wasn't like hard like a cement,
Right.
and it was almost a little bouncy. But like wrestlers would fall and then break their neck. So she could, benefit of the doubt, she could have landed awkwardly without her being beat the shit out of. The only thing that
No, I
brings me to
understand
that,
that. And the young guy alluded to that. He said there were tile all over the walls and tile all over the floors.
Yeah.
So he's trying to say, like, you know, they broke up, they body slammed her or something like that, and she. But what women are out there body slamming other women though? Like,
Yeah.
But I'll say, you ever heard the word circumluxation?
no.
Circumluxation means many words when only a few would do, and I feel like, and that's an indicator of when someone is lying. And I feel like everything he gave was circumluxation, and I think I don't think I think he's trying to hide something more than he's like. At first, when you know, not even at first, towards the middle, I started thinking he's maybe a younger kid. He doesn't know how to put his words together, doesn't know how to communicate properly. But the more so I was kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt, because, you know, I assume innocent too. I don't assume guilty. But then the more, every word he said for every second, he started, like, the more pointless evidence, the more pointless verification, the pointless timeline.
He was digging himself into a real hole, if you let me see it. Like, I think this is what's great about social media and clout chasing. You know, the feds are watching, they're paying attention, they're listening to what you're saying, and most of these people are incriminating themselves. At least as an accessory after the fact. You know, there's a lot of, you see, my thing is this: if she was getting, he claims he didn't know she had gotten beat up, but then the nurse points out the bruise on her forehead. So, how could she have been suffering from alcohol poisoning if there are visible signs of a fight? They would be undetermined. Why would they do that? Maybe is it tourism? Is it the black girl in Mexico, and they don't want to mess with the tourism, so they're saying you're easier to get away with things. They don't want the place. They don't want Kabul to have a bad mark or you know, some kind of like blemish. What are the Kabul police? What is their reputation like? Are they known for solving murders?
Mexico in general, their justice system is straight bribery. I don't know as far as Kabul, because Kabul might be more so the
tourist, yes, very touristy,
issues
yes,
and
yes,
stuff
yes.
like that. But across Mexico, even the former president, I think the current president of Mexico, has been accused of non-stop corruption throughout, and it's not like situational; it's like across. So that's so I'm not speaking hyperbole if anybody's thinking I'm just talking at him in general. Also, I can't imagine these kids, how they're speaking, how they sound on the video. I can't imagine they would conduct themselves out in any way outside of it sounds terrible. I feel like
out of ratchetry.
Not ratchet. Not the.
He looks like a ratchet kind of guy.
They would be rude. They seem like they would be rude to like the help or just regular shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is the simplest thing that they had to do. They would be rude and it.
Oh yeah, because we're looking at these are people that are going on these trips, renting big villas so that they can front on the ground. Clout chasing is the most disgusting drug that's ever evolved.
Yeah, who records World Star in a fucking villa in Mexico? Yeah,
No. World Star picked up the Instagram.
Recording people. I mean, why World Star? I mean, I'm talking about the kind of analogy for somebody recording somebody like in a fist fight. That's like World Star. You know, you're beating the shit out.
Right.
You're gonna do that. You're doing that. Like who? Like you. I've never. I don't know how to say. You just don't. You don't belong there. You don't belong to those places. That's not for you. And not be. Because how they conduct themselves, how they rudeness. I don't want everybody to confuse it because they're young black individuals. It has nothing to do with their race. It only has to do with their conduct, their stupidity, their tact. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I don't know. Makes people say you should have never gave niggas money when you act like that.
Whoa.
That's not a thing.
Whoa.
No. No, it's not a black thing. It's not a black thing.
Wait a minute. Let me just say this. These people don't have money?
Oh, they flew.
Oh, that's what you're offended. That was what you're offended of. You're like, hold up.
The misconception is that we're dealing with affluence here? That these are people that have come to some new sense of wealth? No. These are people that are clout chasing, that are going to not pay their rent so they can go take a trip. These are people, this is the working class stiffs here that want to go to Mexico, and for, $1,800, they can live like some sort of rapper or celebrity that they watch go buy sneakers, and they watch, on TikTok. They want this. They want to be able to put on the Balenciagas. Like, I remember when I was coming up,
Wait, what's that?
the Balenciaga is a clothing brand, a brand, a retail apparel where they have all kind of clothes and shoes. Wear a T-shirt, a scarf like this from Balenciaga will say the word Balenciaga up and down the whole entire scarf, and it will be worth, it will cost, not worth, but it will cost about $1,000. And people are driving buses, working for the MTA. There are people that are working in bartenders that are putting all their money to achieve these brands. These brands are being bought by some of the most poorest people you can ever imagine. Are buying these brands and buying into this idea. It's an idea that you're buying into. It's not real. And I heard what you said when you said what you said. I personally don't like that, what you said.
I didn't mean it that way.
But that's cool. Because a lot of people feel exactly how you feel, Ulrich.
No, it's not. But it's not a race.
You're not saying anything new.
No. Let me not misconstrue it. When I said the comment, you should have never given niggas money. It's in a colloquial sense, in which you have people, and by colloquial I mean casual. So I don't mean it. I don't actually mean black people don't know how to motherfucking use money. I'm talking about
you don't
those.
have to drop so many
those.
F-bombs.
Sorry.
Okay.
Those black people. And what?
Oh, you're saying that the Pookie and Ray Rays are the last people that need to have money?
No. Not even that. No. Not even that. I'm not particularly them. Particularly that specific group. I didn't mean when I said you should have never gave niggas money. It sounded like I was talking generally. I was speaking generally in them, and I was speaking colloquial in terms of that's how they're gonna come off when they act like they've never dealt with money before, right?
Like new money.
Yeah, right.
New money is a little more ostentatious. New money is a little bit more braggadocious. New money is a little more rambunctious, a little louder.
Beautiful. Perfectly said.
Problem with that statement is these people have no money. These people are at the bottom. They're at the very bottom. The Hispanic is making more than these people. Everyone is making more, but they want this clout. They want to go on Instagram and show the pictures of, you heard them, a chef was coming to cook dinner. It was tacos. That's a short order cook. That's not a chef.
That did make me laugh earlier.
Just because he's in a chef hat, just because he's in a
a
chef hat, which is that they're not even in a chef hat. But you know the point. It's like when you go to hibachi spots and someone is cooking hibachi for you, that's not a chef. That's a guy who was taught a quick way to flip an egg into the top of the hat and squirt the water all into the people's mouths. These are not chefs. This is an illusion. These people are going to Kabul to buy into an illusion, to a lie. I do understand that new money though. I understand how it acts. And I think most people, and when you say niggers, we can look at it as everyone can be that. Everyone is
Exactly.
Everyone is
Exactly.
is a nigger. I know you're not talking about black folk.
Exactly. Thank you. I
But
said what I could not.
what we have to understand is that a lot of the things that we say is what we're used to saying. We're used to thinking. And a lot of times when we break it down like we just did right now, it has really nothing to do with any black people. This has to do with new money, new attitudes, I don't give a F I don't
So
give a
that's the
F.
point. It's that attitude.
Right.
That attitude is what precipitates the N word in general.
Right.
Or that it has nothing to do with the race. It's
Well,
that attitude.
well, we all know race
Yeah.
is a construct.
Yeah, of course. So it's more, and it's not that somebody who speaks who speaks colloquial or speaks in whatever slang they speak to and refer to as nigga. It's somebody or that I refer to. I use the word nigga for anybody I disdain. That's ridiculous, but it kind of more. I don't know how to.
You said good. We're there. We're there. You no need to say anything else. We're right. We're on the right page here. But I do just want to just just know that here at the Premium Black News, you're gonna get 3 guys. I'm a chef and a dispensary guy. Okay, we got a surgeon over here who saved lives in the ER. We got a guy like Ulrich, college educated, works with children, teacher kind of a thing, you know? And you're not going to get the same views. We're not going to be, That's not what we do here at Premium Black News. At Premium Black News, we dissect words and we dissect the meaning of what we're saying. And we don't want to leave anything to the imagination of the people because we don't even know you yet. And you're just getting to know us. So we appreciate you for that. And let me tell you, in that situation, there's a lot of value. And I don't know if you've gotten any value, but I think you have. And I would like you to express that value with the value for value system. It's what America was based on. It's what capitalism is based on. You might feel that you've gotten so much value that you want to blow my mind away when I look at that Venmo and Cash App. And that's $, ElvisRosenberg on the Cash App, and on the Venmo it's at Elvis-Rosenberg. You know, what do you think about this Shanquella? What do you think about her?
Perplexed. I'm just kind of perplexed.
Does it make you sad a little bit?
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. Something is missing. Something is missing from this situation. So,
Could it be the algorithm distracting us?
well, we can never say it's not. You know,
Could that truly be her mother?
how do we know? None of the stuff we know. We know absolutely nothing. Never heard of them before. Never saw them before.
It's just
And
news.
that goes hand in hand
And
with
you
a
see
whole lot of
that
stuff we don't know.
picture of her? It's it's like so 8K. It's like perfectly it's almost done digitally. It's so good. And then all the other pictures of her, she has all these tattoos on her back
Right.
with these big glasses. Looks nothing like the picture that we're being promoted. So it's just a part of me that wonders, is this an algorithm story?
To see how you act.
And that's another thing you're going to get from the Premium Black News. You're going to get a guy like me who believes that possibly, well, I don't really have a belief system, but I have arguments all the time about where are we? What are we doing? Why are we here? And is that even real? You're going to get a lot of that from this side of the room. And then you're going to get a lot of other things from this side of the room, and then from this side of the room you get other things. So that's what the Premium Black News is all about. You know, any you want to last words?
Bring it all together and stuff.
But you as a doctor,
Yeah.
come on, give us something, doc. Doctor related on this situation.
Well, for the most part, a nurse came to the room. They're at this villa. Why is a nurse coming there? Wouldn't it be the emergency service systems to come get this girl?
Why a nurse?
Yeah.
Who's the nurse, right?
Nurses, what? They have nurses at these places?
Then he said we thought it was a man coming, but then it turned out to be a woman. Why is that even an issue? Like, why did they tell you a man was coming?
Right. So the thing is, the situation doesn't make a lot of sense, on its face. Typically from a fight, you don't have 2 fractures that involve the neck and the spine. So those are two different areas, two different fractures, and it's not easy to fracture those things.
Very difficult.
Yeah, very difficult.
Very difficult, especially once the body shuts down. If the person's knocked out, their body's like just like
And
it's like it's like very pliable at that point.
And then
Wacky baby.
Yeah, exactly.
On top of that, although you can die from breaking your neck from a height, but a lot of time it really results from brain trauma that would occur. So if you did break your neck, she'd be paralyzed. That don't necessarily cause death. So I don't know. We need to
breaking your neck doesn't cause the death.
see all that.
So here's the thing: the swelling of the brain. Wouldn't the doctor be able to see that from the dilating of the eyes,
say that.
right through the eyes? No,
It would say that. It would say that. So they would get that.
What would
If she
be one of the
herniated.
tests a doctor would do when they come in? What test would you do?
What if I saw? Well, no, you look at the pupils and stuff like that to see whether or not there's herniation. That give you like a sign of that. But right off the bat, what symptoms she experiencing?
Well,
If
she
she
was
had a headache,
non-responsive. He said.
So now the thing is, and then what they, so they have the nurse there checking her out.
And for a person that's
Yeah.
not
Responsive?
without a pulse.
Yeah. Just the ambulance and getting out there.
Then he said he
stood
stood with her all night or something to that effect,
That
rubbing
doesn't
her
make-
head,
that don't make sense.
playing. What's her name? Summer Walker. Whoa. What?
I mean, I feel they're just trying to.
So if you walk into a room and there's a woman there, and I guess you're gonna feel the pulse first.
Yeah.
If you don't have a pulse, you're gonna then check the heartbeat or whatever have you.
So now this is not to the people that was there and also the guests that were there, but at least for the nurse. Even as a physician, you go into a setting like that, the person's unresponsive. You're limited in what you could do. So the very first thing is get some people to come so we could transport this person.
the
And
hospital.
now you try to see whether or not you could do CPR, that type of stuff, and what's going on for this person who's unresponsive.
What would the body be like? Would there be a temperature at a certain hour? He was trying to say how that was like he got there and the nurse came how many hours later? Like what is the timeline on the touch of a human where they start to get cold?
Well, no. So the body is normally at anywhere between 98 to 100.
Right.
And when that heart stops, you just cool down naturally with the room. So
And how long would that take for a person to like he just came from out of town and he gets there and she's in another room on the couch unresponsive? How much time would I need to go by?
Rigor mortis.
think about it. Well, that's a different
I
thing.
don't
That's
know
a-
about rigor mortis. I'm just talking about when does the body
Cool
when do
down.
you look and say, whoa, this person is dead.
Oh,
This person is not unresponsive. This person is not having a rough time. This person is gone.
you talking about him sitting there with her all night? Sitting with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, but think about it having like a warm food. I don't think it's really get cold because most of the time you'll have situations where spouses will talk about they have, their spouse passed away
Right.
and they woke up in the morning and they touched him and the person felt cold.
They knew.
They knew. So,
Exactly. That's my thing. When someone is dead, there's nothing that you don't know about. You're gonna feel that, that body, and it's interesting that you're saying it's almost like the food, like temperature food.
right.
The same room temperature-ness will happen to the human body.
Right.
Hmm.
So it's one thing I know for sure, as far as this story is concerned, we don't have enough information.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah, it's just it's truly it's heartbreaking to imagine the phone call that the mother got
That's
where the guy is like, "There's no pulse." Oh my God! Who
Can
wants
you
to hear that?
imagine?
Oh my God! And then they're saying the parents spent $6,000 already to get the body back. They had to pay for the autopsy, which I'm sure was at least $1,000. Then they have to ship the body over to the States, get all the permits, then they have to probably hire any liaison,
A liaison.
a liaison to. I threw the little accent on the end of mine, but you know, to
11K for the
circumvent
funeral.
that.
What's up with that?
Wait,
Somebody just wrote
what's the
some shit,
liaison we
like-
got hired? What you talking?
11K for the funeral? Yeah, I knew that.
Oh, 11. Oh, that's what he said. Gotcha. 11K for the funeral. Yeah.
Let's
Oh,
go see,
did
let's go
you
up.
see that already? I mean,
I heard it was payback. It was from, who's that? Somebody Miller?
Killer.
Killer?
ATK killer.
Then LJ, and then T Rilla. What's up, T Rilla? How you doing? Those girls best. That girl.
Beat that girl to
beat
death.
that girl to death.
LG said
Lies. Tostic. T Rilla again. He needs a lawyer. Seriously. Like, why are you talking so much, sir? You should be shutting up. What is this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, South Carolina what?
Brawls.
South Carolina Brawls.
That's some West Virginia energy.
When did the what?
When did the funeral
Rose.
get arranged that fast?
no.
Well, yeah, so how did that happen?
Funerals can be arranged
Yeah, they
pretty
can.
fast.
Yeah.
Funerals can be done pretty fast. What does it say right there? Balenciaga, the ugly sneakers with
Thick
the
soul.
thick soles. Yeah.
T. Riddler, he's at you.
T. Riddler says, "There's the drunk." I wonder who.
Hey, what's this guy?
I like that setup.
I like this setup.
I like this setup. All right, cool. I don't know. It's pretty easy. It takes only a small amount of force to knock someone out. Yeah, to knock someone out is, but
You can tap them on the chin.
to kill somebody is different. You know, we talking
Break
about
leg, break your spine, and then unresponsive.
if a soccer kick someone's head, that's all it takes. I mean, that's a good argument, but I've seen throughout this internet streets hundreds of soccer kicks, and these people are surviving it. Remember the girl at McDonald's? Come on, let's never forget her. What's she say, Doc? I can't see that. T. Rilla.
It says at O-Dog, she had a broken neck and severed spine. That took a lot of force. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, at Doc, I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah, the soccer kick would do that. And then
It's banned from the UFC thing.
Yeah, it's banned from the soccer kick. I think Japan is the only last place you can do a soccer kick. Yeah, it's totally brought me down. I ain't gonna lie.
You picked the true crime story.
It really brought me down. I mean, you know, my condolences to her parents and her family. You know,
We've been desensitized with this type of stuff. You know, this is where our society have gotten to where we see these stories and it becomes, you know, these things that make the rounds that's just really, really tragic. But the way that happens, something is off.
oh yeah,
Something is off.
so that there's some foul play here.
Beginning to end, something is off.
But is it new though? It's not too new. We know.
Something being off, isn't it?
You know, people go to Mexico and never come back all the time. N-words die every day, B. And I'm not just talking about black people.
You gotta take that stuff. You
You
gotta
are.
bleep me out. Bleep me out for that stuff.
No. You know, Ulrich, it's great that what you said was great because then I got to say what I said and we all said what we said together. It's great because I have to tell you, it's giving me low energy. That's a fact. It's a sad story. I am troubled by this young lady. If it's real, if it's real, my condolences to the family. Okay, and I would like to see some justice, some jail time. But let me just tell you, niggas die every day, B. This is nothing new. This is nothing new under the sun. But now we have the internet. And little guys like us can talk to people like you, and we can have a dialogue and a discussion about it. And don't forget to hit the, let me see. Yeah, Pride. championships in Japan. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's the last place you can do the soccer kick still. You are appreciated for tuning in. And the great thing about this show is we got a cool guy like,
Or
and
Got Dr. Surgeon.
along with Big Elvis the Chef, because you know I'm here. And at the end of the day, you know I love you. I love you. And that's a fact.
I tell you what, though.
these motherfuckers.